Today I'm going to do a DIY video fixing the dishwasher draining issue. It's a very simple fix, but there's a few places you want to look for. Before you get started, hit the subscribe button if you want to subscribe. Hit the bell icon where you'll be notified of new videos. And really appreciate that thumbs up. Thank you very much in advance. Okay, today I'm going to show you how I fixed my Kenmore Elite dishwasher. It's also similar to other Whirlpool models. So you notice that the one over here is the float, and that goes up, so that will trigger the dishwasher if the water level is high and shut off. So as I learned, finding out why it didn't drain, it was shut off every single time. So why is that? Why it doesn't want to drain? You know, it will make a tick 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 sound and stop, right? So the water level is at this high before. So the first thing you need to do is check for the clog in the filter. I think that's the easiest place to start. So take the filter out, look for debris, look for chicken, fish, what have you, debris around the filter, and definitely wash it and rinse it, you know. And I don't know how often you need to check this, but check it at least once a week, I guess. Also, you can take this shield off and also wash it if it's dirty. In this case, it's already clean already. And look for debris down there in the hole. And, you know, food and particles get dislodged or stuck over there as well, and it could cause it not to drain. So that's a very common thing that could happen. That's a simple fix. So once you figure out if it's not there, then we could look at other parts and make sure you put this thing back. And you don't need to remove the center, the spinner, whatever they call that. Make sure it's tight when you put the filter back. Make sure it's tight. It's about like a little bit turn clockwise to make it tight. And once you figure out it's not that issue, then we can look elsewhere. So start with that first. Also get a good pair of gloves as well, because basically the soap from the dishwasher is pretty hard on my hands, as I discovered while making this video and before. So it gets a little slippery, but it doesn't feel that great for your hand. So next thing we want to look at, is the air gap. So we want to remove the cover and check for that. So you want to get one of these toothbrush, right? Tubing brush, what you want to call that. But that's the one you could look and find on Amazon or eBay or wherever place you decide to search, right? So these are relatively inexpensive and really helps. So we remove the covers on this thing over here, and some of them are not twist on. Some of them you need to use a flathead to open it up. So you notice there's a green, and also there's a big gap over there. Well, the water out of the dishwasher is this particular one. It's the outflow. And I had a clog here before, and with debris over time it catches on over here. So either you're gonna pick it out or use the tube cleaner, see if you can pick it out. So if that's not the issue, you don't see anything there, you want to use the tube cleaner and bring it down over here. Just push it all the way down, and it should come out on the sink side. So it goes through the line and should come out in the sink side. So then you know you unclogged it, if that's the case, right? And initially, this one is the next simple solution to look for. But the other thing I do want to mention in this thing is, which is number 3, if your sink is also draining slow or clogged, well, you can have all this problem as well. So the water won't go because the sink is clogged. So fix the underlying issue, the plumbing issue with the sink. So fixing the sink clogging issue on the sink would definitely help with your drain issue on your dishwasher. I wanted to add, if your sink is clogged, the water has nowhere to go. So your dishwasher water will also have nowhere to go. It's all clogged up. And your dishwasher will activate the flow, which will turn off your dishwasher altogether from trying to drain more water. Remember, it's like an upside down V for the air gap. Do want to point that out in particular. Okay, and know your dishwasher. You look underneath, there's power set up. Some of them may not be plugged in. My dishwasher is the lower one, and it's plugged in on the right, but yours may be on the left, or it could be a different place, or it could be hardwired. So everything differs. Okay, so looking at the setup we have for my particular case, so I'm not sure how much I could show on my dishwasher. There's a lot of stuff in here, but you can see this line is from the dishwasher. It comes out, the water flows outlet, right? And that goes to the air gap. and once you go to air gap, then there's gonna be like a V, upside down V, and you can see check the line to the garbage disposal. That's the line with the clamp on it, so you can see that with the screw and stuff like that. So that's where sometimes it clogs, but likely the cases won't be a clog over there most of the time, unless you have a lot of food particles that slip through. But that's a probable area that could get clogged, and you have to open this thing up, then you have to unclog it, use a tube cleaner, or just get a new hose, or whatever decision, you know, if you find a clog over there. Over time, there's a probability that actually could get clogged. So, you know, you could check that if you like. Okay, the next thing you want to do, number 5, involves a little bit more work. First of all, you need to use a vacuum to vacuum all the water out before you start checking the outflow hose and the dishwasher drain motor. So to do that, you need a vacuum, like a rigid or something from Lowe's as well, to vacuum the water out. Then you want to take the filter out and also to vacuum the water in there. Otherwise, it's going to flood when you open the bottom. So a simple task, and it does take some time. And even you vacuum, I do want to mention, you can still have water coming out, but be less. So to drain, hit the cancel button, and to test, and that's what I have on my Kenmore Whirlpool. And you hold, press and hold, and then you let go, then it will drain. And it was making the tick tick sound. I didn't know where it's coming from, right? So over here, right on the bottom, you can actually get a rag if you want, so it doesn't go all over the floor. I know I have a tile floor here, which is great. And on this elbow over here, check the line for clog over here. Most common issue. So, okay, so on this hose, you want to check the line for clog on the elbow area. It could be right around the turn location. And this looks like this over here. So you want on the tip, you want to get a pair of pliers or something, just squeeze it and it'll come out. So this is easy to remove, a little pain to put in. So I could tell you that. And when you put it in, make sure it's tight. And there's actually food particles that could be stuck in here. You can see it when you pull it out, right? It doesn't go through the elbow. You can't make that churn, and that's where the clog is coming from. You're probably gonna notice this issue when there's no water coming out of the air gap from the dishwasher. And this line goes all the way to the air gap. You can see that it's the same shape and color. So keep that in mind. Check for drain motor for clog. If you didn't see anything in there, that's going to be a little bit harder, but definitely it's doable. This one in particular is an older model. Just take out the loop for the wire, and you want to get a flathead screwdriver. And around, let me see if I get some lighting on this area. Move the connector. On the right side of the connector, you see there's a little tip that sticks out. Just use a flathead to push that to take the connector out. Otherwise, it won't come out. You can't pull it out. You just have to push it right over here. Then with a flathead, then pull it out. Try not to yank on the wire too much. You hit it on the connector so you don't break the wires connecting to the connector. Just be really gentle with it. In my case, I already fixed it already, so I'm not going to take it out. It's very fragile wire, it looks like. And you're going to turn this. So after we remove the cable, you want to turn this thing counterclockwise. That's to your left, and say around to 10 o'clock or so, then it'll come off. Just be really gentle with this over here. You can hold on the top over here, what I'm doing right now, but just really super gentle on this one. Your model may differ a little bit on the drain motor, because my model is really old. That's why it looks like in this particular one. And if you install everything back, including the motor, you also check with the hoses. The hoses have an easy tendency to leak, as you can see right here. So make sure you check for leaks, especially on the hose. And if the leak, fix it. It goes really badly if you don't attend to it. So luckily I found the problem and it wasn't tight. We're going to pull this drain hose back and forth and make sure your clamp is actually clamping on a solid surface to make sure it's tight. Back and forth, wiggle it back and forth, so you don't like have another leak, because that leak gets bigger and bigger and bigger. You know, it could get into your cabinets, it could cause mold, it could cause a lot of other issues. So make sure you check your work, put the motor back, check for leaks there, check the line, you know, that it doesn't leak, and also check the connector that you put in, everything is tight. So if your motor doesn't spin anymore after you put it back in, maybe you didn't put the power back on, or it wasn't all the way in, etc., right? It could cause other issues. So make sure it's tight, make sure it doesn't leak and is in position. And my problem was actually on the drain motor, luckily. So I found that problem, just the debris stuck in there that caused the issue. So I fixed the drain line. Everything is working great. I tested it, so I'm really happy about that, and it saved me some bucks. So hopefully this video does help you out with some steps to troubleshoot and save you some bucks at the same time. So I really appreciate a thumbs up so other people could see the video. And also please leave a comment if it's going to help other people out there having the same issue. And I see you next time. Have a good one. Bye.